Welcome to the Banter with Dave and Hobbs, brought to you and sponsored by Berserk Athletics. For all your custom team uniform needs, they are the ones to go to. Get y'all this fly gear.
Looking.
I gotta give Landon Whittick a shout out for this. I mean, I know it's
good
kind of
looking.
copied in a way, but the teal with pink, man, it just pops off.
Good stuff.
You know. So, Hobbsy, welcome
What's
to
up, man?
2024.
Yes, you too.
Uh,
You too.
was it crazy New Year's Eve, or did you stay home, do absolutely nothing?
I didn't. I don't think I made it till. I don't even. I don't know. I don't know if I made it till 10 p.m. Honestly.
Oh man,
I was gassed, man.
I made it to about 10 after midnight. Now I was ready
Yeah.
to go to bed.
I
Other,
I woke up to fireworks. Obviously, small town.
oh yeah,
Everyone's blowing off their goddamn bazookas and stuff. So I woke up to that, and I was like, well, obviously, I woke up. I'm here. So Happy New Year.
yeah.
And crash right back out.
That's how it goes, man. We heard some fireworks, nothing too big. You heard a couple M80s go off, and from a far distance, sound like a couple pistol shots in there, but
Oh yeah. You know it.
that has nothing to do with the type of neighborhood I live in, because we live in a pretty damn good neighborhood.
Man,
So
they'll shoot them anyway. You know how it is.
yeah, oh yeah, man. This episode, man, I really, like I said, I wanted to kind of go baseball with this route, talk a little sports. I know a lot happened.
Oh man, yeah.
NFL playoffs coming up soon. All that stuff. I know these few upcoming games, a lot of teams are going to be playing a lot of starters.
Yeah.
Some that are fighting, but
Yeah.
other than that, man, I have to get some stuff off my chest.
Yep.
And I'm sure you'll feel the same way. Some aspects of this.
Yeah.
When it comes to dealing with step parents, as being a step parent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me clear my voice a little bit for this one.
Yeah.
I have never been so frustrated as a step parent as I have over the Christmas holidays.
Oh yeah.
I have an issue, and I'm not saying all dads. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of great dads out there. A lot of dads, stepdads that can co-parent real well.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue with men who cannot step up to the plate and take care of their kids financially, emotionally, or anything of that sort. I have an issue when they string along their kids, give them all the hope in the world, then let them down.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you have young boys, especially young boys.
Yep.
Who starve for their real father's attention.
Absolutely.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say, the son of a bitch. That's the nicest way to say it.
Hey,
if he sees this show somehow or some way, I don't give two shits. I'm gonna have a Cat Williams moment. Who would it like that?
God, that was amazing.
I have an issue with the man who, and he knows who when I'm saying this, who will try to reach out to his son in his own convenience when it's convenient to him.
Right.
Knows his son has a phone, knows his son has certain times. Get yourself into trouble, per se. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But try to blame everybody else for those issues.
Yep.
Have made comments of saying, he lived a little over an hour away, has another kid from someone else that was living up there he was with, was playing the part-time dad role, come down every weekend, relationship, whatever, didn't work out. They're getting divorced. But now he's down here and tried to say he wants to now spend more time with his son that he left down here.
How convenient.
How convenient.
How
And
convenient.
on top of how convenient, how are you going to say you want to spend more time with the one you left down here and not try to say, I want to spend more times with both of my boys together?
Yeah, for sure.
That you came down this way now to spend more time with the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get frustrated because he went through some troubles. He, mom and him had a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
Says I don't feel comfortable of letting him be with you during this situation
Mm-hmm.
because of what happened. Not saying that you would put your kid in any harm's way, but at the same time, I want you to get your shit straight. I have an issue of men who can't get their shit straight because they have kids. Whether it's finding a job, whether it's finding a form of income instead of, how do I say, attaching yourself to someone else and trying to create this other life
Right.
from a life you just left not too long ago.
Right.
Like, don't say you're in a healthy relationship now when you're going through issues. You were going through other issues with your other, family or, marriage.
Yeah.
And now you're in a healthy relationship when you can't even find yourself.
Right.
Man, I have an issue with that because I would do anything for both of these kids.
Right.
I consider the stepson my son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you 99.9% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I finance pretty much 99.9% of everything you want to do.
Yep.
I am there to take the brunt of the attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I take the brunt of the sadness. I take the brunt of how I always said it's like a lashback.
Mm-hmm.
When he did go with dad and he would come home and then it was a different kid.
Yep.
And we had to put up with the attitude and all that
Yep.
stuff. And man, and of course, you know, we got the brunt of that. And me being stepdad,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I got a lot more than anything else.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Because I
Mm-hmm.
told him, I said, look, here's my issue, man. I'm not going to have an issue with you taking stuff out of me because I'm a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you start taking it out on mom and then taking it out on little sister,
Yeah.
then that's where my issue comes in.
Exactly.
Man, I tell you what, and it makes it even harder now because his birthday's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's trying to be more communicate with them more, saying, I want to, hey, I missed you, I love you, I want to make things right with you, and it was Christmas time, and maybe I could spend some time with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now birthday's coming up, and I'm sure it's going to happen again. And I think it just sends like a confusing message to a boy who's kind of confused as it is at this age.
Right.
I remember being the same age and my mom and my father going about getting a divorce. And it's confusing time.
Yeah.
Because you want to be around dad,
Mm-hmm.
but you're starting to figure stuff out.
Yep.
You start to see how dad was with mom, how dad was in certain situations, and then you're starting to figure it out that, hey, look what I'm seeing here. So I understand you're kind of in the same type of, the way you're the stepdad in the situation.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, man. Like, what kind of is your take on stuff like that?
So I wouldn't say our situations are much different. Obviously, me having two daughters in that mix, and Braden being older, it helps with Braden because, now Braden's 16, and Braden, where Braden looks out is Braden's very calm and quiet and very reserved. He doesn't really, he's not an emotional kid very much. So where Braden looks out is, like I told you before, is his dad's dad, his pawpaw, like, never misses anything for Braden. And he's at everything his father should be at. And I don't fucking care either. I'll fire off. So, in his line of work, he works some Saturdays, but he gets off at enough time during the week, most times, to be at some of the stuff that he says he has to work at. And it's more of a, in my perception from the outside, I feel like it's more of in the same boat that you're kind of dealing with, and that I know we're not the only two, because I think it's a pretty common. It's disgusting that it's a common trend.
Very common trend.
Yeah, but I feel like if it inconveniences him in any way and what he has planned, he always, for him, it's nice. I think it's nice that it must be nice to know that you have your dad to compensate for you as Papa, your mom to be pretty much super grandma of the year every year, your ex-wife who was the breadwinner in their situation, is at every single thing, doesn't miss anything, works from home when she needs to, and makes sure they want for absolutely nothing. And then, you have me, and what you get with me is a completely different type of man. Him and I could not be more opposite as far as I think how we view everything. So you kind of said it all, so I won't repeat what you just said because I don't think I need to, but I can tell you this: there is not a single thing you said that I don't 197,000% with every ounce of my being disagree with. So I'm very in a similar situation. With me, they've also had everyone's, and I get where they come from. Everyone has protected their feelings and has tried to put a kind of a dream world, is how I see it, that doesn't exist. So, I get you want to protect the kids and stuff, and to a certain age, I understand it. But, the sunshine and rainbows, what's depicted and what really is not the case. And so, when I came along, it was worse, and it's gotten better because, as you know, with me, I will not live in a dream world that I was not a part of.
I agree with you.
I didn't build that world. I didn't sign up for that world. I don't. That's not the future for them. They'll have better futures, and I think in my role, I feel like it's a part of me to make sure that their future is opened up to not a false perception of what is. And sometimes that's really hard. So and with the daughters especially, I can only imagine, because I see how tough it is, because every little girl wants to be daddy's girl. And I think our oldest daughter, who's now a freshman, she's not very good at expressing herself, but you see it more, like with actions and struggling at school, things like that. I think that attention that she craves is directed towards the father that is not there. And me not being him, and I'm not, of course, when he's around, he's, super affectionate, and, paints the good dad image for them.
Yeah.
When he is around, and I'm glad he does that. I'm glad he is loving and stuff, but at the same time, there are the monsters in the closet, should I say, that he carries, and there is a reason why they don't go over to his house or where he's
Uh-huh.
at, and he comes to see them more at his mom and dad's house. And I know that's personal stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. So I know she has a hard time with it. I know the youngest one, like I said, if I rub off on any of them, Carly would be it. She's been around me the most.
Uh-huh.
She's still at the age where my
She's at the
influences,
formative age.
yeah, and my influences is she's had me around steady now
Yeah.
for at the youngest age. So you see her put it together, and it sucks because you see sometimes where she wants to be mad at me, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not me she's mad at,
Yeah.
and you can tell. Or
I
she,
think a lot of that, I see that with him.
yep,
It'd be the same thing.
and they want to let it go, but in no way do they want to. And as young kids, yeah, I can totally understand not wanting to accept what it is, and a lot of times they already know.
Yeah.
They're just not old enough to put it all together yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I deal with that a lot. One of the most frustrating things with me is like you said, I have heard of multiple false promises to them, uh, promises of, and hey, we'll do this, and then it come back to, hey, I was going to do this with them, but can you give them this amount of money?
Yeah.
So I'd love to do this with them, but hey, hey, can you and Ashley fund it type shit, or he'll say something to the kids to ask Ashley, because don't dare say it to me.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. And like I said, I don't mean to bag on their kid because, his parents are wonderful. So, and
Yeah.
they do an amazing job, and they love their grandkids. But again, it shouldn't be their job to have to do that the way they do it.
Oh, I agree.
And that's what pisses me off the most is there's so much stuff he's missing out on. And I think what chaps my ass the most is that I don't know if he cares. And I'm like,
Oh,
I hate it because there's so many things like in with Braden, any success he has in sports, anything he's really proud of.
yeah.
It's he's very, like I said, he's very calm and doesn't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
But the emotions that possibly could see if his dad was there is
Yeah.
stuff that it's unfortunate because we don't get to see it, and it's hard not to wonder if that's why. Anything with Katie and band or something she's super excited about, she wants us all to know, and yeah, it's great that we're there and stuff, and I get pumped for and stuff, but it's the stuff that you just get frustrated because you want to be the guy there for him and you want to be the man,
Yes.
but it takes us. I think as a stepdad, when you're trying to be a good or a great stepdad or however you want to call it, you have to have that humbleness to know that that other man
Yes.
is always going to be there, or if he's not there,
Yes.
you're still going to take
Yes.
a back seat to him, and
Yeah.
and no matter how hard you try, and no matter how much it eats you up inside, you have to take on your role and do it always the best to your ability, but still know that you always have to have a side of you too that's like, for fuck's sake, man, get it together. Even though
Yes.
your kids have me, they desperately either need closure from you or need the
Yes.
closure
Yes.
or need you to be a part of this. And if you're not going to be all in, get our thought process is, and I'm sure you're just like me, if you're not going to be 100% all in, then get 150 fucking percent all out.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
get the
yes.
fuck out of here. Like,
Get the fuck
get
out.
the fuck out of
Yes.
here. Like, I don't want to fucking see your face. Don't
Uh,
show up once a month and then think that's okay, and all of a sudden you're gonna get Father of Year award. Get fuck right off. Get out.
mm,
If
you hit the nail on the head.
yeah, I
That
hate that.
that is the most frustrating thing
Yeah.
because I'll go back a little bit to when he was a little younger,
Mm-hmm.
and this was before COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, Dad was living up an hour north, hour 15 minutes north, and the boy was really getting into the baseball thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget this. The the no, I take that back. This is when COVID hit. So we got north of the rivers. We know kind of was open to everything.
Uh-huh.
So he got on the team. Got on the team. People were still allowed to attend games. And I remember, okay, I had to work, so I drive over there from work. As we're sitting there, son's new team doesn't really know too many of the kids real well, and the coaches are still learning them and all that stuff. So he gets up to bat. I pull up, of course, I see Dad sitting there on the bleachers, and I kind of sit back, stay out of the way from him. He sees me in the fence, says hi, I say hi.
Yep.
He goes up to bat, gets one of his very first hits in the machine pitch, gets on base. By this time, Dad saw his hit, got up, and left. Then, when he rounded the bases and ended up scoring, of course, his first look was up into the bleachers for his dad.
Yep.
And didn't see him. So, of course, I'm kind of where I'm sitting. I'm right near the dugout a little bit further back where, if he comes to the end, he could see me. He walks to the end of the dugout, asking where his dad went.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, hey, he went to the bathroom when he didn't. And I just said, sorry, buddy, he left.
Yep.
And the pain on his face from that happening right then and there, Click said, I'm not going to miss a game for you. I'm going to be there for you, everything you do.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong. This was when he's younger. Like I missed some games.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You get sick and stuff like that. But it's all like he's to the point now where he knows Dad is not going to show up to games. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because Dad doesn't have a care for sports.
Mm-hmm.
The one I can count. So this was when he was 8 or 9. He turns 12. And he's played baseball from that age on.
Mm-hmm.
And I can count on one hand how many times he has showed up to watch him play.
Yep.
And the sad part is he has never watched him play a full game.
Yep.
It was, I will show up the last inning because I'm picking him up and taking him out to eat. Or, hey, I'm dropping him off. I stay inning, then I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that ate me up so much. And it's like you said, it's like, I'd rather you be all in or get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
And that's the hardest part.
It's to me, and again, very similar situation. Obviously, you're two. Can't talk. Your youngster's a little younger than Braden is, and the girls, but it's the same thing. So whether it be a band concert or whether it be a chorus concert for Carly or cheerleading or Braden sports, it's I've been around for 3+ years now, and I don't know if I can get to. I can maybe get to this hand. I don't know if I can get to this hand yet.
Yeah.
For 3 of them that he's been at stuff and fully watched it all.
Yeah.
And when it is, it's in glimpses, and it's gone before they know he was there most of the time.
Yeah.
I can remember a couple of Braden's football games, especially where it really chapped my ass, where it was there, and then before it was even over, when the players come over to see the parents, him dipping out, and then a couple times, and one of them not, he never even knew he was there until we
Yeah.
told him, and it was, and they handle it well, but it's, I think, with that, it's like I said, and like you're saying, and I know we're not alone in that. It's like I said, it's
Oh yeah, I
just
agree.
it's kind of ridiculous how many stepdads are probably in the same boat we're in, and all we can do is do. Sorry, I got a little Frenchy bulldog looking at me.
Oh yeah.
All we can do is do what we keep doing, and I have to get reminded sometimes because I doubt it. I doubt it a lot sometimes, that what we're doing and the consistency is gonna, I don't want to say pay off, because it's not about us, and
Yeah, it's
that
not.
it's totally, it's not about the recognition. It's not about getting a fucking trophy. It's not about
No.
I'm a better dad than you or any of that. I don't give a shit about any of that. It's about making sure that the 3 kids, or in your case the 2 kids, or anybody's case, I think that Travis Rogers is another one,
Yeah.
right off the top of my head. Like, the amazing job he's done. It's making sure that what you signed up for, when
Yes.
you met mom, and when that commitment was made, it's making sure what you set for, you send them on, or you did everything you possibly could to make sure that when they become fathers or moms or everything, that never, no matter what happens in their lives, that they ever, one, leave their kids and not put them at 100% the number one thing in their life, and two, not try to, like, and we've talked about this before, not try to be successful or good
Yeah.
human beings, or better every best part of you, and then you make them see, you hope you get the potential in them to see every potential part of themselves, and
Yeah.
make the best of everything. And that's, I think, kudos to all stepdads, because I don't think it's easy to, if you're not one, and I remember when I wasn't one, and it's easy to sit there and be like, oh, it can't be that bad, or it's not so hard, or
It.
it's easy to be like, and like, we've talked about this before. I have challenged myself in ways my entire life, just because having a chip on my shoulder, or being a short, chubby kid or something, or just wanting to be better or something, or challenge myself because of my competitive nature. And I have never in my life, to this day, had any challenge like being a stepdad. And I wake up every day and it kicks me in my ass, knocks me right back on my butt, but you get up and you keep doing it.
That's parenting.
Yeah.
Within itself.
Yeah. And I think the hard thing for us, and I don't, and I'm sure you'll be able to piggyback off this. I think the hardest thing for us, when I say us, is in like a stepmom or a stepdad, because I'm not leaving the ladies out either. I know they go through it too.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. By all means, ladies, stepmoms, bonus moms, I that's a
No,
whole different animal.
There's, I know we talk about it from our point of view because we're stepdads.
Yeah.
And first of all, I applaud the dads and the stepdads who can co-parent and make it work.
That was where I was getting ready to go with
it. I applaud that, because that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be able to do that, but it's like when you're taking on 99.9% of the role,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't even think his dad would know how to get his hair cut.
Right.
Since I've been around, he's never taken him to get a haircut.
Right.
And if he did, it was one time, and it wasn't the way it was usually done.
Yep.
It's like never bought him, school shoes, or come out of pocket for him to, go on a field trip.
Right.
There's more to it, and I applaud women, or just because it's how my mom was. We'll touch this. Is like, who will say, I don't want your shit financially.
Yep.
I'd rather do it on my own.
My mama, same way. Hell yes.
My mom's the same way.
Yep.
Now, to me, if you're going to play that part-time role,
Mm-hmm.
then you better become a full-time financial support system
Absolutely.
for your
Yep.
kid.
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
You can't, and exactly.
And you
If you
shouldn't
want to
expect
say,
to.
I want it on my time,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him and call him on my time, then damn it, step up some other way and financially do
Exactly.
stuff. There are a lot of great mothers out there who will take that money and put it towards their kids
Right.
and not tell to themselves.
Right.
That's
But
just another topic for
yep,
another
that's a
episode.
yeah. We could because
But
I'm with you there. I think that's one of those bullshit stigmas that just get played out so much.
step parents
Yep.
that can co-parent with the parents is an awesome thing to see.
Yeah.
I will give Landon Whittick
Mm-hmm.
and his wife and his daughter's mom and her husband or boyfriend, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud them to the fullest because they make it work.
Yeah.
That whole we're taking pictures together and you get a mom, dad, stepmom, stepdad picture. That's awesome, man. I love seeing stuff like that. Do I have the patience for that? No, because I'm not going to be buddy buddy with you. But
No.
I can be.
Civil.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah, you can be
I'll be
civil.
personal with. I'll be personable with you.
Yeah.
You know, but take initiative.
Right.
Like take initiative into what your kids' extracurricular activities are.
Yeah.
Even though you don't love sports, show up
Mm-hmm.
to a game. You don't know how much
Yeah.
more that means.
Right.
Hey, take initiative. Give a fuck about what their grades are.
Exactly. Oh
Don't
yeah.
give them hey buddy, just try harder type
Yep.
conversation.
Be in it.
Like care if they're failing and care if
Mm-hmm.
they're on the cusp line of C's and D's and F's.
Exactly.
Like encourage them to be better. Like my
Mm-hmm.
goal, and I've said this to them, my goal is to help develop you to become a better man than me and a better man than your real father.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, you you go back a little bit what you said, the dads or even the moms who are not around or putting forth the effort miss out. I go,
Mm-hmm.
you're missing out on a great kid.
Absolutely.
You are missing out on what he is accomplishing in life. Like you don't realize that your kid is doing honors
Yeah.
classes or
Exactly.
reads at a high level or is getting really good at sports or he's
Mm-hmm.
getting really good at band or he's getting really good at stuff because you're not taking initiative in life to be in their lives.
Right. And
Go ahead.
I can't fathom, and I think you're geared like I am. I can't fathom living a life as a parent and by choice opting to not even see your child's accomplishments in person, but if by choosing to see them or hear them through text messages and relayed messages
Yes.
and not being there for any of now if you're a parent that is putting in extra hours to make the money and you're committed to your kids but you have to work. I mean, there are extenuating circumstances and circumstances where you can't always be there, but you're still putting in an effort any other way you can. Like you're
Yeah.
doing what's best. But if
Yeah.
you're voluntarily or knowingly opting out of going to their stuff or any kind of effort and are content with getting a text message or a any kind of just a picture on Facebook
Uh-huh.
or that of the successes of your child and you're 150 fucking percent capable of being there to see them all in person, then
Yep.
I can't fucking fathom that. Like, because
I,
the number one thing I bring here, and it's frustrating to Ashley because and not in a bad way, but because she's not used to it. Uh, the kids, and it's always growing pains, and it always will be. But
yeah.
I will always bring structure and consistency to
Yes.
everything, and
Yes.
so that they know that no matter what, whether it sucks whether it's homework, whether it's dishes,
Yep.
whether it's accountability, whether it's anything, yep,
Vacuuming the carpet.
exactly, whether it's me telling fart jokes or me going off at the football games or me busting out some sweet dance moves in the living room and them laughing at me or trying to do TikTok dances with them, they can always rely on some kind of
Yes.
consistent structure, no matter what, that's always going to be there. And that reliability to me is everything I can do on top of, you know, hoping to push them in a way, in a positive way to see, like you were saying, and make the best of themselves is
Yes.
the only way I know how to do it.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's
And
the right way, but it's the way I'm going to do it.
I was getting ready to say that it's not like
They don't make a
we
book for this.
have they don't make a book, especially being a father,
Yep.
and being a stepdad, it's kind of say, going along the line of piggyback off what you said, it's like you try to give them structure. And one of the phrases I use with my boy is, I'm here to be your parent.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be your friend.
Right.
You are with me all day, every day. So therefore, I'm not here to. I'm looking at you. I look at you, and I'm raising you
Mm-hmm.
like you are my very own flesh and blood.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't put any other expectation on you that I wouldn't put on my own son,
Exactly.
my own flesh and blood son.
Yep.
Because the way I look at him, the way I treat him, he is my son.
Exactly.
I'm firm with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hard on him, and sometimes I'm too firm and too hard.
Yep.
But I go, the world, if you're not used to that, the world's gonna chew you up and spit you out.
It will steamroll you if you ain't ready for it.
Especially for being a boy. And have to teach him to be the protector of little sister,
Mm-hmm.
and to teach him to be a man, because one day I may not be around.
Right.
And you're gonna have to step up and be the protector of the home.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to be not saying the physical protector, but you're gonna be
No, I get you.
you're the next man of the house.
Yep.
And there is no book for this. It's hard. Every day is a struggle.
Yeah.
But man, I will say this to you, because it's been said to me a millions of times: is they may not see it now,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll see it when they're in the future.
Yep. And see, I was lucky enough to have that situation. So when
Yeah.
my mom met Steve, I was a freshman in high school. I was a mama's boy. I'd always just had my mom.
Uh-huh.
I was everybody. It's no secret to this day. My mom will make it. She'll still tell you, I'm her favorite child. Absolutely. Ain't that right, Mom? She watches us.
Good.
But it's funny because I know for a fact that like when I met Steve, I made it really hard to
Oh
be
yeah.
around my mama, because I'm like,
Yeah.
this ain't your world, bud. And that was for years. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was until I was out of high school, and we still, like, I'd accepted that he wasn't going anywhere,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, there was a mutual, you may be her man, but I am her baby.
Yeah.
And there was a thing there with that, and I made it
Yeah.
extremely difficult. And it wasn't until I grew up that all of the shit I made difficult, and all of the patience he had,
Yeah.
knowing that I didn't want a dad. I was on the side of it where my mind fucked right off and didn't want nothing to do with it. And then magically, when I was good at baseball in high school and was making the paper and stuff, and and stuff like that, all of a sudden magically he wanted to appear.
Yeah.
And at that point didn't approach me, but I know watched me play baseball a couple times. I had no desire to meet him, talk to him, none of that, because I had my mom, and she pulled both roles better than most dads would. So
Yeah.
then Steve came along, and it's funny because like I said, I remember as I got older, and it took a while, obviously. Shit, like I said, I was into my 20s.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me, how much he had put up with, how much I had learned without knowing I was learning it, and like
Yep.
the amount of respect I gained for him, and then like
Yep.
now he's my dad,
Yeah.
and he couldn't be his interest in sports has never been huge. He's more of a
Uh-huh.
nature science guy, and that's
Uh-huh.
all right, and that's fine
Yeah.
because, goddamn it, he didn't know it, but he sure shit came to it, and
Yeah.
he knew enough of it to be encouraging and be supportive. I remember a couple times, and I
But
didn't think.
just
Good.
I was gonna say, but just showing up
Yeah,
itself is
exactly. And
what
there were a
they don't
couple
under.
times in high school where my mom had to work,
Uh-huh.
and he, of all things, I didn't think shit of it then, but he was at my games, a couple of games that my mom wasn't at. And
Yeah.
at the time, a high school kid just brushed it off. I'm like, whatever. And then now looking back at it, he got to see me do some pretty amazing shit. He was at a couple of games where I did some pretty impressive shit, and
Uh-huh.
he got to see it. And
Yeah.
looking back at it now, I even if it was just him telling me good job after the game, I kind of shoulder shrugged it then. Now looking back at it, it means
Yeah.
a fucking ton more because
Yeah.
you needed that. You didn't know you needed it then, and you didn't realize how much you needed it, but for real. So I get it. I understand that part of it a lot. So from coming from being on the opposite side of it a little bit, I kind of keep trying to tell myself that because I remember
Well,
how I was.
man, it's the advice. It's like it's been given to me, and like even saying it to you, and I had to replay it in myself. Is we have to always remember why we're doing it.
Right? Yeah.
I think kind of taking a step back into earlier in the conversation is when you're dating, especially older, as you get older in life,
Yeah.
that you're dating women with children.
Facts.
And I think what happens is you date women with children, and you have to realize is you're not only dating mom,
Nope. Oh, you're
you're
dating
dating
everybody.
you're dating everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you have to understand why single mothers sometimes are very protective of who they let around their children,
As they should be.
especially when the man who was supposed to be around that child
Yep.
is coming up with excuses and does everything in the world not to be around that child
Mm-hmm.
and only wants to be around that child when it's convenient.
Exactly.
My biggest frustration in all this, it kind of is don't come back. How you say it's like, don't come back when the cake is done
Yeah.
and
Yep.
stand there and say, how does my cake taste?
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't sit there when they're walking across that stage in high school and stand up and say, that's my boy.
Yeah. I did that. That's my work.
That's my
Yep.
work.
I'm proud of
Because
that. That came out of me. I'm like, the only thing that did was come out of you.
yeah,
You had nothing to do with how it did that.
like and he may not know that this is we do this show, and if he came across it somehow, I hope he listens to this episode, and I'm saying, dude, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing
Same
out
here,
on
man.
a great young man who's becoming a young man.
Mm-hmm.
And all you're doing is damaging this boy by continuously fucking up your own life
Right.
to try to sell him that things are going to get better.
Exactly.
Like you
It's
said, either be 100% in or be 150% out.
yeah.
So I'm going
Because
to tell you what, and I'm going to say this, tell you what, motherfucker, I'm the one that's paying everything. So I'm keeping receipts.
right. Exactly. Hell yeah.
So if you want to come in
Yep.
and you want to, hey, I got receipts I'm keeping.
Right.
You can start. I'll be like the electric company. I'll take $50 a month,
Yeah. Here you go,
my
bud.
dude.
Yeah.
I'll take
Welcome back.
$50 a month, my dude. Start
Welcome
paying me
back.
back.
Well, see,
Yeah,
and
welcome back.
I laugh because kind of a personal thing, but like Ashley took it super easy on him on child support, so he gets into
Yes.
that. He gets into that out of that pretty easy. And kind of piggybacking a little bit back is one thing you said that it really I wanted to bring this up, and then you made a perfect way to do it. So you said I'm here to be your dad, not your friend.
Yeah.
And I too say that, and I know we're not alone in saying that. And what I find ironic in this whole thing, and I can't help but laugh, and it makes me fucking annoyed as shit at the same time. But I find it so ironic that we get to say I'm here to be your dad and not your friend.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Meanwhile, their dad gets to fucking turn around and be I'm here to be your friend and not your fucking dad.
That's that.
And it's funny how
Yes,
much that
sir.
starts to happen. And the
Yes,
older they get,
sir.
trust me, I see it. That's the one thing I'm seeing now. I worry about the next couple of years, especially. And the older he gets, what Braden does, that we're going to play the just forget I wasn't here the whole time because let's crack some beers and have a grand
Yeah.
old time. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I don't want to think about it because it
Hey,
infuriates the
I
shit
understand.
out of me.
I understand because that's one thing. When I said that Christmas last episode, I said Christmas, my anxiety, it was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of why
Yeah.
that anxiety was different.
Yep.
Because I go, all it takes is for him to come and throw a monkey wrench in and fuck everything up.
Oh yeah. And
And
the power they have, and
yes,
the fact that they know it, and they fucking dip their
all
shit in and out of it, and then they fucking wander off on the fuck off island and don't want to be around, and then they come back. It's a shame that
all it took
you
was a
can't
phone
purge
call.
people. Exactly.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you that it's a shame that purging is not legal. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, man, which leads me to another topic I want to discuss with you, and you kind of was leading me into it before I went back and forth. You like me. We're
Mm-hmm.
both considered. I consider myself a mama's boy too,
Mm-hmm.
which I have been on following things on TikTok and following things on other social media outlets. And one of the biggest questions that have been brought out to young men is when you're in a serious relationship or a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
who comes first in that? Your wife
Mm-hmm.
or your mother? And I'll let you go ahead and give your answer. And hey, I guess to me, I've heard both sides of it, and I will say I get the younger guys side to it, but as older guys who have been around it, or kind of who's been married and been into long term relationships and all that stuff, I get their side of it as well. How do you feel about that?
Feel I go through this, so uh, and it's not and in no way is it a bad thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not, it's never in a bad nature. It's never met with negativity from either one of them. They love each other dearly, and that is where I luck out. Uh,
yeah,
where my mom is with stuff is Ashley is very understanding of the fact that my mom is older, as and so anytime that my mom wants to do something, it she is completely understanding of that. For me, it takes initiative because as you never know how long you have left, and
mm-hmm.
the importance of when anybody gets to our mom's age, for you know as well as I do, health is it's it's the age and everything. There's always the risk. You just never know. And
Hold on, shameless plug. Hey, Burt Bees, if
that's
you're
the
out
shit
there
right there.
listening, I take this stuff for chapped lips is freaking amazing. My whole family uses it. So hey, Burt Bees, hey, we'll take a sponsorship.
Their dog shampoo is
Anyway,
really
go
good
ahead,
too.
man. I have to
But
get a shameless plug in. Berserk
yeah, so
Athletics.
so basically, yeah, anything, it's my mom, anything that like she wants to do, like if we're free for a weekend,
Uh-huh.
Ashley may choose not to go. Like she may opt to stay home and rest because with the kids she's on the go all the time, and
Oh
and
yeah.
she's totally understanding that I will always it, if we're free and I if my mom wants me to go spend time with her, I will always choose that.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough, and I think probably with some of those you see, and I'm sure not everyone's in a situation where mom and daughter see or daughter-in-law see things the same
Yeah.
on a lot of views.
Yeah.
So then you're forced to pick between what mom wants and what wife wants, or how mom sees it and how wife sees it. And
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough that I don't run into that a lot. Now,
Yeah.
if just kind of speaking out here, I ran into a situation where I've never had a lot of awkward interactions with in-laws, like
Mm-hmm.
mom, like her mom or anything. And her mom got in a little bit of a tizzle around Thanksgiving time
Mm-hmm.
that kind of, and it was the first time, like obviously, and it's not the same, but it's kind of, where you're in that one of those where, so you choose, is your wife right, or is your mother-in-law, or
Yeah.
are they right,
And I
and
think
which side do you see?
that's kind of the I guess that's the point of the basis of the
Yeah,
question. But at the same time, like I see where you're coming from.
yeah. I
And
don't think if I had to choose, like if I was gonna, I see both sides of it, but I think
yeah.
it has to be situational. So
Yeah.
is your mom, if it's a young couple or like a young married couple or young dating couple, like you said, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it? Like, is it over some petty shit or is it something
Yeah.
real deal? And if you're a
Yeah.
mama's boy, who do I don't mean it bad, but this is the woman that brought you into the world. And if you're a mama's boy, this is the woman that I mean, gave you your view on women, like the
And
strong,
I'm
independent
gonna play
woman.
off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna play off that.
how you view what kind of women you like as friends or as
Yes.
who you marry or stuff is it's everything you saw in your mom. Like I know that sounds crazy, but all of those strengths and everything you
Yes.
saw
The
is
qualities.
yes
Yes.
is everything you see in any woman that you want to be friends with. That's why I always perfect example for me is all of the girls have always been friends with,
Uh-huh.
like our core buddies, if you think about it, and a lot of them. The perfect examples, like during softball, you think of Whitney, you think
Yeah.
of Nay, you think
Yeah.
of Tolbert, you think of you know the list goes on and on. Meatbox, Gina,
Yeah.
all of them, all of those, that kind of quality, that a little bit of tomboy there, but a little bit of like
Yeah.
just good stuff. That was all like mom stuff. You
Yeah.
get that. So I, in a way, I feel like if who you're dating is if it's serious and when it's qualities that like that, you might, depending on the situation, you may lean towards given whatever, like I said, whatever situation is,
Yeah.
you may lean towards your girlfriend or your wife
Yeah.
over your mom. But again, it's by situation. Now, if my mom doesn't agree necessarily with how my girlfriend or wife or however does something or believes in something,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and just side with my mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, look, different strokes for different folks. You raised me better than that. You know
Yeah.
better than that, and you're getting older, but
Yeah.
don't tell me to do it this way, and then you do it that way just because, and then you told me to do as you say, not as you do.
Yeah.
So
I
straighten
think,
up. So it's a hard question because I would, the situation I'm in now, I
and
definitely side with them. I don't have to pick sides.
and that's why I asked you,
Yeah. So.
because I know, because we're both, I live with my mom.
Hmm.
When my mom and dad divorced, I was the one that stayed with my mom forever.
Yeah.
and we lived together. So I would say yes. I'm even at the age of 49. I still consider myself a mother's boy,
Hmm.
but not to the aspect of saying my mom washes my clothes, my mom cooks my
Oh hell
food,
yeah,
and
exactly.
hell no, I'm a grown ass
Right.
man. But I think the basis of the question, I answer it this way: my wife becomes before my mother,
Yeah.
even in decisions. Now I will listen to my mother and what she has to say, take her
Hmm.
advice, but I've, like you said, your mom was the one who had you.
Yeah.
Your mom was, yes, it was. She is my matriarch.
Yeah.
She is the matriarch of my family. I will always say that she was Queen Bee.
Mhm.
She's the one who gave us life, who taught us. Like I look at her saying, "You were a strong woman who raised a boy.
Yeah.
You were a single mother who worked hard.
Yeah.
God did real well, working in the IRS and doing shit like that.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you set me up to know what I wanted in life.
Hmm.
To saying I want someone who has those same personality traits. To saying I want someone who is strong, someone who is
Right.
going to be, who is about the family, who is going to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So now, to me, my mother becomes just that, my mother.
Hmm.
And now I have my queen,
Hmm.
or however you see
Yeah.
her, So now it's like I have my queen in my life. I still have the matriarch of my life. Then
Hmm.
I have my princess in my life.
Yeah.
And they have that order. So
Yeah.
it's like my mom raised me. Now
Hmm.
she's let me go. Now my queen is with me,
Hmm.
and we have a life together that we're building.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to have struggles along the way and all that stuff. But at the same time, side by side, she knows when I need her by my side,
Yeah.
when I need her to be in front of me, and when I need her to be behind me to give me a push.
I.
And I think that's kind of, to me, where that question goes.
Yeah. And I'm
And
glad
it's like,
you can put it in words like that, because when you put it like that, like, yeah, and it's just a different perspective. I did I
yeah,
when you put it that way, then for sure, yeah,
yeah,
definitely it goes. Anything that it's in my life, anything that involves any decision now with me,
yes,
Ashley and
yes,
me, that is Ashley is numero uno at that. Of course,
yes,
I always look to my mom for advice, and I always will. But any
yeah,
decision, any major family decision involving my family now,
yeah,
like you said, my mom will always be my mom. Any decision that doesn't involve her in that part, I will look to her for
yeah,
advice, because she will always,
of course.
always give me probably the best advice I'll get on it. And
Yes,
I'll take that advice and I'll take that advice in consideration. But I will
yes.
always do, what
Oh,
Ashley and I decide,
yeah.
not what
But
my
I
mom
think,
wants. Yeah,
but I think, like how you put it, is you have your your wife and your mom have a great relationship,
exactly.
and
So yeah, so I don't
that's
get put in a lot
huge.
of torn situations,
Yeah,
or
but
any
it's
kind of, hey, we're going to do this, and my mom coming out of left field going, why the
and I
fuck would you
think,
do that? So
like, even my mother has made a kind of conversations like, that's a decision between you and your wife,
yep, and
and
that's kind of how I
and
get it.
that, I'm going to give you my advice, but this is, that's a decision between you and your wife, because
Yeah.
that's who, you know this you were my family, that is your family.
Hmm. Yep.
And I think that's kind of where it boils down to, because
Yep.
I would never put my anymore, now that it's like my mother comes second.
Yeah.
The wife is first, the
Yeah.
mother is second. And then I said, we in the conversation is it's I kind of like it, because then you start to see the mentality of how some guys are raised,
Hmm.
and how some are very spoiled by mothers, and
Yep.
they can't let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
and, and and some like that. But uh, what was, because like I said, when it comes to relationships, though,
Mm-hmm.
What is when you have a mom stepdaughter relationship like your mom, or not stepdaughter, but I mean like your mom and daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you sit back and just go, "Man, this is all I ever wanted"?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't, so yeah, that's the easiest way to put it, because you worry. You
Uh-huh.
always worry because, for the longest time, anybody that first off, to meet my mom, if I ever brought an actual girl I was dating, because me, I
Yes.
was pretty private. So to even get to meet my mom was you had to get through about 4,000 barriers just to get there. And then, oddly enough, go figure, my mom only liked two of them ever.
Yeah.
The other ones, I'm pretty sure if she could, she'd
Well,
probably
mothers
still kill a couple
mothers
of
will
them.
let you learn
Oh
and
yeah,
say, and then afterwards say, "I
yep,
told you.
yeah. And she's like,
I
"Little
I,
bitch."
I told you she wasn't the one for
Yeah,
you."
and I'm like, "Thanks, mom. Appreciate it. Thanks for waiting a fucking year and a half." But yeah. So I love it because I think with Ashley, what she is, and I couldn't luck out in such a way that I do. So my dad, Steve, and
Uh-huh.
Ashley are very much alike, as in they talk a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
you've met Ashley,
Yeah.
and you can tell she'll talk, but
Yeah.
she is not near as talkative as I am.
Yeah.
Not, and especially, and now I mean, if it's just us two out, like I said, these days I'm just like before. If I'm around, if I don't want to talk to you, I'm not going to talk. So her and
Yeah.
me will talk to each other, and we can be awkward together. That's why we're
Yeah.
married. But when it comes to my mom, when it's my mom and Steve, and we all go out to have dinner or something, I mean, it's the perfect storm because I don't see my mom as much.
Uh-huh.
Ashley gets tired of me fucking talking, I'm sure. You know, she never tells me to shut the fuck up, but her face tells me otherwise all the time. So when I get to meet my mom, like get to see my mom, then her and me are just
Uh-huh.
because we're the same. I'm
Yeah.
just like her. We can talk for fucking hours about stupid shit, and Steve will sit back and Ashley will sit back, talk amongst
Yeah.
each other, and just fucking laugh at us, and just be like, and they just let us go because it's like a hurricane every time.
Yeah.
We're gonna say shit that the two of them are gonna look at each other and be like, "This is why we can't take them in fucking public." God forbid we're in a restaurant. Because she gets to hear my mom fucking say something ridiculous, and then
Yeah.
me get on to my mom about it and be like, "Mom, shh, come on now," and then those
I
two just
would.
get to chuckle and laugh about it. So it's when you sit back and see it, and then my favorite part is when we have any kind of family get together because we don't have a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
How my mom goes out of her way. God bless this woman. She will go out
Yep.
of her way to make sure that everyone knows that Ashley is her favorite daughter-in-law.
Yes,
So
sir.
so then so then here's my brother and his wife. Here's my sister and her husband, and my mom gives no fucks, none, and will let everyone know that Ashley is by far her favorite. Like, so it's an awesome dynamic. Like I said, I cannot I cannot tell you enough how if I hit any home runs in any kind of way when we talk about crossing boxes and lucking out,
Yeah.
it's it's her and my mom that everything works there. That those two can sit there and fuck with me, and
Yeah.
and they both
Oh
know two.
yeah.
Yeah, and they know two sides of
Yeah.
me. Like
Yeah.
my mom knows, like, and
I
how wedding, or like how when marriages are, like, you're always getting to know your partner.
Yep.
So there are still things that Ashley is getting to know about me. Like, she
Uh-huh.
she picks up on things that I I I wonder sometimes if if she notices, but I think she does. But I think
Yeah.
she's still learning. Like, we're always learning each
Yeah.
other. That's the beauty of it all. And
That
with my mom, there'll be some things that she fucking already knows,
yeah.
and then, like, the two of them can get together and kind of see the mannerisms and stuff, and then go all
Yeah.
in on me if they want to. And
Yep.
then I have no fucking ammo because the two loves of my life are just firing fucking shots at you, and you're
you
just
have
like
to
this.
take it.
I'm just like a little
Man,
kid. I'm like, yeah.
I will say this to anybody who's listening and all that, especially to young guys, man, or people who say I can't find the right one. If you had a good mother in your life, wait for the one who has the qualities of your mother,
Yes,
because that would just
it is. It's
it. But at the
nails you
same
out.
time, it'll bite you in the ass because, like you
Yeah.
said, since they both know your little tendencies
Yeah.
and know how you are,
Yeah.
they pick on you and they would say, I told you that. I
Yeah.
told you so. Or I'm going to tell your mom, or I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Man, it's like,
And
I tell my mom, anymore, it's like, yeah, I got to hear what she's got to say when she brings you into it. I just get to go home and I have to put up with you, but I still have to put up with her.
right. Yeah. And I'll tell you what,
So,
like they will. One of the things that I noticed, and it is funny, and I needed it, and that's how I knew I had the right woman. Is my mom has never in her life not called me out on my bullshit,
yes.
straight to my fucking face, and undressed me up and down, motherfucking me up and down, from head to toe if I did some dumb shit, like letting me have it. That
Uh-huh.
woman in the other room got no problem doing the exact same thing. Like straight up. If I ain't fucking, I mean, I get like, if I need straightened up, I will get fucking told. And it's like, yeah, all right, fine, fuck
Well,
off. I don't like you right now, but I love you, so I'm gonna go sit over here and pout because I just got put in my place. But I love it. It's great, man.
what is, because I know you were pretty much, you had your walls around you.
Yep.
So what was it that made you, now, and we've kind of touched on this before, like letting
Mm-hmm.
those walls down, looking at each other. What was it that you were just like, man, this one is breaking down the walls
She,
and getting to where, like, that's it. You grab my heart. Now, just be gentle with it.
yeah. It for me, it was once I got to know her, she was all of my flaws,
Uh-huh.
everything I'm not good at, like everything I can think, like any kind of flaw I have, she doesn't have.
Uh-huh.
They're all her strengths.
Yes.
So if not to say yin yang or peas in a pod, but everything that I am. So sometimes, as we all know, like I am extremely outspoken.
Yeah.
I and unapologetic about it in any way.
Yes.
Uh, she is much more thoughtful in her delivery. She is
Yes.
very
Yep.
kind. Uh,
Yep.
I do not take no shit. Period. And that that I'm not putting up. I'm just not. I'm not fucking with no bullshit. I don't have time
Yeah.
for it. Where she is much more forgiving. Uh,
Yeah.
she's more compassionate about things that I'm not.
Yeah.
But then there are things I'm more compassionate than she's not.
Yeah.
There are the kindness in her heart is a kindness that, and it's what really got me is when you can see it is the kindness in her heart is a kindness that I'll never have, like
Yeah.
towards the
Oh
thing
yeah.
towards the things she
Yeah.
does, like
Yeah.
what I find, like what does it for me, some stuff, certain things don't necessarily do it for her, but the things that I get to see in her, it's like
Yeah.
fuck, man, and you truly love it, and once you start seeing that, it just butters you. You're done. You
I
know exactly how it goes, and yeah, I think once we went and it ours escalated quickly, but once we had went on, been together for a while, like truly, well, where we looked at is we didn't have a lot of time with like we didn't go to a lot of bars and stuff, and
mm-hmm.
like outside noise we didn't, and the outside noise is a huge part of it. We got to genuinely get to know each other before anybody else came into the picture. she met Hubbard. She already knew Hubbard. She'd met Wood. She met you. She met couple of buddies, but she still has yet to meet a lot of them. I met a couple
Yeah.
of her close friends, but I still haven't met all of hers, and
Yeah.
it was good because there was no blah, 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 outside noise, anything that could
Yeah.
slow down or affect in any way that true like pure process of actually dating and getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate for that because I got to do it all the right way and in a way I think is a lot
I
more uncommon now than it used to be.
yeah,
So
I think what it is, I always look back and it's like you said, it's like you have you take the better qualities of what I was missing and you that whole opposite attract thing. You're kind hearted. You're 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 loving, you're caring, I'm I care for who I care about.
right,
I'm loving with who I want to love with, but to everybody else I give two shits about.
exactly, yes,
I have become very, I keep everything within a bubble.
mm-hmm,
And she understands that. Which is crazy because when you think of being in customer service and always being out and about, of most
yep,
people, I was very personal. That's it. It's like that's why it's called personal life.
yeah,
You had your personal life. There was stuff that even like yourself or other people didn't know because it's personal. I mean,
mm-hmm,
that's just how it
yeah,
is.
absolutely,
And I always think that it's always great when you can keep personal lives personal.
yes,
And I think
150%,
especially when you get to getting to know one another. And I
mm-hmm,
think that was the same situation. I think it was we we were from two different worlds.
mm-hmm,
Then when we did have our time together, it was yeah, the worlds kind of were intertwined, but at the same time, it was nice to have a balance in saying it could just be us.
yeah, exactly,
I didn't have to feel like God. I'm gonna use this as an analogy because we were in that softball world at one time.
mm-hmm,
When you dated girls who were in that world,
yeah,
sometimes they couldn't turn it off,
never, never,
and so you never could cleanse yourself
mm-hmm,
from or step away from that scenario because they were still about
yep, it was always going to be there,
it. And when you date someone outside of that, then you have that comfort zone, that how you say that breath of fresh air.
yep,
And I think, man, I think there's a balance, and it sounds like you and Ashley have that balance. And I know, I have that balance. Nicole and I have that balance,
mm-hmm,
and she keeps me. She understands, and and I know at times I'm hard to deal with.
mm-hmm,
I'm very hard headed. I'm very stubborn. I'm set in my ways, and
mm-hmm,
but she balances me in a lot of ways because then
right,
she still makes me see the other side of stuff.
yeah,
But at the same time, she goes, I can never, you balance me because you're that asshole that I can't be,
exactly, same,
where I'm
that's
the
exactly,
tender side you can't be,
exactly,
other than around the select few. And
mm-hmm,
so yeah, man, it's crazy when it comes to relationships and life. And I always try to tell people that be patient
yeah, you have to be,
because that was the hard thing is trying to as you get older as you think, okay, when is it my time? When am I going to find that right person?
yep,
And then you have to go outside the box. And
yeah,
it's an amazing feeling. I think sometimes people don't go outside the box.
mm-hmm,
They're so caught up in their own world, and I see it all the time.
mm-hmm.
I don't see how some couples make it work.
There are some
Like,
there are some I see to this day that have I don't know how they survived it or how it works or if it really works. And
yeah,
to each their own. And it's none of my fucking business. But
And
Lord knows
it's
I can
and
see it and go, okay.
my biggest advice to people is I always said, hey, you know, in the day and age of social media, realize you still have a personal life and keep that personal life personal.
Yeah, keep
You
that
don't
shit
have
out of there.
to constantly post your love for your spouse
No,
or your
no, man.
girlfriend. You don't. You know what? When they come home, you kiss them give them a kiss and say, "I love you. I appreciate you."
Yeah,
I don't need a fucking be on your timeline and read
right,
a narrative on why you love your wife.
right,
Because to me, that sounds desperate. Like, okay, you
yeah,
fucked up.
and man,
That
and you know me so well that man for the longest time, my favorite thing, and many people would read into it so much, but my favorite thing to do on Facebook was to fucking pretty much create an alternate reality of Bush just fucking with people the whole time while I was dating somebody, and
yeah,
my select few knew, and everybody
yeah,
else was like, "What the fuck?" And it was my
yeah.
favorite thing to do, is because people would get so into it or read, oh, and I'm like, and you'd see me, back to even the Just Bats days, you'd see me like, and
Oh yeah.
and I'm just like, and it's man, it's just like you're saying, dude. It's you don't need to, and if that's your thing, fucking go for it on social media. But if you're on there, fucking, what gets me, and I'm not picking on it, but it makes me laugh. Like, yeah, if you're home with them, yeah, I'll tag Ashley in some shit sometimes, just messing with her like an
You
inside joke with some cheesy
yeah.
Facebook pickup lines or some shit. And yeah,
I I
every now and
I
again it's
like that
fun, but
stuff.
yeah,
I
but
like
the
that
I
stuff.
love
I
you and
love
blah 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 blah, and then we're breaking up, blah 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 blah, or prayers needed because so and so, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you're fucking setting yourself up. This is how this shit goes south. Don't
I
do
call
that.
them, I guess I call them attention whores.
Yeah, it's
Like
like, fuck, man. If
like
you really want to come on here and post, pray for my relationship because fucking Jim Bob's out here doing whatever, and then 5 minutes later, there's a picture of you two going with your Stanley Cup,
man,
fucking living life happy. You're like, give me a fucking break, man.
I crack up at the ones that 1 minute they're whoring themselves out because
Oh,
they just broke up because so and so cheated on them.
yeah,
To now they're all in love and they're gonna make it work and all
yeah.
this stuff, and then 4 months later, back out to whoring
Back at it
themselves
again.
because
And I hate to be that way,
I
but it's like it's always funny because it's the same. I mean, we're older now, but it's the same song and dance. And and it's
oh
how it is. It's like, oh, single, ready, and free, and all of a sudden and this sounds horrible. My thought process is cue the 46 dicks, and then boom, I'm in love. This is the one, and then 16 Facebook pictures with them in a relationship, and then, like you said, 2 months later, well, blah blah blah, cue 46 more dicks, or if it's one of the guys,
oh
and my bud here is gonna run through every single fucking woman he can run through and get his body count up to 900. Oh,
man,
then he's engaged again, then 900, then he's engaged again, or he's not engaged again, or he's married, or he's not married, or he disappears off the face of the earth for like 2 months, and then he's got a
oh
new girlfriend, and I'm like, it's hard to keep track with them all. And I don't care. Live your life, do your thing, but goddamn it, if you're gonna put it on social media, we're all gonna see it. We're gonna fucking tune in and watch it.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's must see TV, baby.
oh yeah.
We're like,
I used to.
great shitter material. Great shitter material.
I never understood why someone, and this coming from speaking from experience on this, is why like I post pictures of my kids,
Mm-hmm.
in which I know I have family members that like to see the pictures, and
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
hopefully so like to catch you see what the kids are up to. And I'm proud of my kids, so of course
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
post pictures of
absolutely.
them. You know, just because I don't post pictures of me and my wife doesn't mean that I'm not happy.
Exactly. You don't have to you don't
I
have
don't
to do
have to
that shit.
parade
Exactly.
my relationship to anybody because it's my relationship.
Exactly.
It's my personal relationship. So I always go back to that's why it's personal.
Yeah.
I'm not. Hey, if I mess up someone, guess what? That's between her and I, not for her and I and 50 million other people.
Right. Exactly. It's
You
you
know,
don't need all that out fucking side noise
I
putting their
never
Dr. Phil
understood.
shit on it.
I never understood why I had a girl that I had dated felt the need that I had to like change my relationship status or
Yeah.
make sure that we checked in, and
Yeah.
you always had to take pictures. And if I post, we had
Yeah.
to post pictures and tag each other.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I'm a girl. At the time, I was like, I'm a man. Like,
yeah.
people don't need to know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. Right.
If
And
I want people to know, they'd be here hanging out with us. Like,
exactly. And back in my high school days and young days like that, back then, before I fucking became a man,
yeah,
I was stupid and shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I was an asshole and a jealous type and all that shit. Until I became an actual man, like I fucking grew into my manhood. I
yeah,
was a pain in the ass. And then once
yeah.
I grew up, that fucking petty and dumb shit just don't matter. Like that's
No,
not how if you spend all your time doing that, how are you spending your time making your woman happy? If
yeah,
you're fucking on here with all that dumb shit,
yeah,
then who cares? Quit putting all that
yeah.
energy into fucking if you're tagged in a picture or what your shit says, and put that energy into them and in front of you, not what the
I
fucking Twitter says or Facebook. Be there in the moment, be with them. Fuck, that's what they're there for. Plus, you can touch
I
her
have
titties. You can touch her titties. It's fine. It's fine.
I have learned through life that you keep, your I keep saying this, your personal life personal. You keep your head down. It's like you said, keep your head down and keep
Hmm.
trucking along.
Exactly.
You know, about making myself better as a person for my family, and things like that.
Hmm.
And, being at peace.
Hmm.
I think the hardest thing where I see a lot of people is they're not at peace with themselves.
No.
You can't be at peace with yourself and then try to have a perfect relationship.
Exactly.
I think, you know, you have to be able to have that peace so you're not losing your mind.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
and we both know that marriages are work every
Hmm.
day.
Every single day.
Every single day you're working. I think it's great when you have a companion who balances you. I think it's great when you have a companion who knows how to motivate you, but
Hmm.
yet kind of like I said before, it's like you have them stand next to you.
Yeah.
Then when they need to take the lead, they can take the lead.
Exactly.
You know, it's hard enough for us as men, I think, because we're internal. We're internal creatures. We don't like to speak about emotions.
Hmm.
We don't like to tell people sometimes how we're feeling.
Right.
Um, and it's crazy because now it's like I've been using this as an outlet to say, look, man, not all men are. You don't have to be macho man. You don't have to be Mr. Machismo.
Right.
It's okay to have a sensitive side.
Exactly.
It's okay to, you know, be the provider, but yet be humble enough
Yeah.
to say, hey, baby, go ahead, you handle it this week because I'm
Yeah.
having a hard time.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to have that balance.
And I think as men, as you've said before, is heavy lies the crown.
Yes, sir.
And I think, man, we do as men so much in any relationship because I think men are looked as supposed to be the breadwinners, they're supposed to be the protectors, they're supposed to do this. Sometimes, and that's why I love those when you see those memes with the lion and the lionesses
Yep.
that it's okay to have someone that's right there next to you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and when you're clicking and
Hmm.
they click with the people that you love the most,
Hmm.
man, that's the best. That's the best shit
Exactly.
ever, right there.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah,
you think
man.
about it, dude. It's perception.
Yes.
Everything, people, and it's the nature of the beast is it's always a perception of anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you were saying. You can have a happy relationship and not have to blow it up all over Facebook.
Yeah.
And then if you do or if you don't, people are going to perceive it any way they want to anyway, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You know, you may be a rich man, but you drive $1,000 car.
Yep.
So what's the perception of you? Are you a rich man or are you a man who drives $1,000 car?
Yep.
It's the same thing. It always goes back to perception. And with like you're saying with me and you and like right now, our two situations particularly, I like to think Canuck's in one of those situations right now.
Yeah.
He seems to be in one. Not married yet, or if he never gets married, but Canuck seems very happy. Just to name somebody off the top of my like that I see and shit,
Yeah.
and things like and Hubbard's a perfect example is now married.
Yeah.
Will McGall, my buddy Will, same boat, is
Yep.
happy. When you see shit like that, man, and everything's clicking for everybody, it's just it's nice to see, and it's nice
Yeah.
to see when they post the pictures of them out and doing things with the kids and everything. But it's also nice to see that you don't ever have to be on social media and see no bullshit about so and so did this or so and so did. That's all shit that's behind the doors. They're living their private adult lives and they're happy relationships. And I think that's how the work that you put into a relationship
Mm-hmm.
or marriage, like in our case, it's just like the stepdad and shit. We don't have all the answers. They don't write a book on it. But I'll tell you what, if this is how it's going to be, and the struggles I have now, whether it be in being a stepdad or being a husband, if this is the path I'm on, then I'll fucking take it over anything I've done so far.
Yeah, I
It
agree
is
with you.
it is a mountaintop that I am happy that I hope I stay where I'm at, just keep going climbing upwards. Yeah, I'm gonna fall
Mm-hmm.
down it, but I'm at my mountain peak already. Like as far as happiness,
Yeah.
there's always things that
Eh,
I wish I could do better, but as far as that part of my life, like
Yeah.
I have my demons. You and me both. We're all gonna have our mental health things and stuff we're going through, but it's never that. It's the trials and tribulations of that. But I am very happy with the marriage part of my life, and you
That's
know
good to hear,
yeah,
man.
the mountain of that. And I hope that I hope you're there. I hope for all of our buddies. I hope they're there. Sometimes I worry for some of them,
I had
but
I've
take.
always said this. I think, when you find that you're in the right place in life,
Mhm.
you can lay your head down at night and feel peace.
Yeah,
And that's where I'm at in life.
and that's yes, and
And I think what's crazy is in we have and it's funny how men are.
mhm.
We say this is we don't applaud other men. Like you said, you gave shout outs to a bunch of great guys.
Yeah, yeah,
And them being friends, you saw their struggles. You've listened to them struggle.
yeah.
You see them what they go through. You and I are on that same page, and it's like, to me, it's 2024.
Mhm.
You know, what last couple of years, everybody sees it around on social media how women need to stay uplifting other women.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
be proud. Be proud of your sister.
yeah,
You know, I think men need to do the same thing.
yeah, man.
I
Fucking
think men need to applaud other men
yeah.
for doing the right things in life,
Right,
for working
exactly.
hard for the family, for providing for the family,
Yeah,
who raise their kids, correctly.
yeah,
Like giving the shout outs to the dads who step up, to the stepdads who step up, to the
yeah.
moms, to the stepmoms.
Right.
You know, all them people, man. It's a rare breed in
Yeah,
reality.
it really is.
Not everybody can parent.
Fuck no.
Like
No, hell no. You and me can name 2 people right now that don't know how to fucking do it.
Not every dad can be a dad, but we can lay down and make a baby.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean you know how to raise them.
Shit no.
You know, and
you sure got the recipe,
think,
but the end result don't seem to fucking come out right, does it?
No, and I think men as men need to start uplifting other men.
Absolutely.
I think that when you see them, you need to applaud them. And that's why I said, man, it's when I started this thing,
mm-hmm.
You know, I was all like, I wanted to be about sports.
Right.
But at the same time, I wanted to be about real life.
Yeah.
And I think real life things that happen to real life people within real life situations.
Exactly.
You know, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I know I make mistakes daily. You know, I know you make mistakes daily. But why, as a man, should I drive you down?
Exactly.
Instead of lift you up.
Right? Because fuck, man, we're humans. None of us are perfect. No, we ain't never going to be.
In this world today, man, I think we need to have each other's backs more and more.
Agreed. Yeah, especially we ain't living in sunshine and rainbows out there. Ain't none of us, you know, as far as this world is.
To kind of take a twist, I'm gonna tell all those people, look, this was $10 off of Amazon, and all you fuckers spending $50 on Stanleys does the exact same fucking thing.
I can't fucking tell you how many Stanleys are in my house right now. Guess how many I fucking bought?
0.
So I even fucking.
Oh, that's.
Ashley even bought 2 like Amazon cups like that, like they look like Stanleys. But she bought 2 of them for like $30. They work as good, if not better, than a Stanley. So to mess with the girls, I literally wrote Stanley on it, and like I'm like, guys, grab my Stanley for me. Just.
Hey, in this house
again, it's all about fucking perception, isn't it?
In this house, it's Starbucks cups.
Oh boy.
Good Lord.
Oh boy. They all have their thing.
My 5-year-old daughter has looks like a Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
When she got that, I said, "Oh Lord, here we go."
Yep.
I'm in trouble. But man, I can't end this show without asking, did you hear the Cat Williams interview? I know it's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I haven't heard it all, but I heard him go fucking full machine guns blazing, bring the tanks, throw nukes on about 90% of anybody I've ever seen the dude work with. I heard him go all in on Chris Tucker, the Friday situation, Ludacris.
Yep. He called basically Kim Kardashian a whore.
Cedric the Entertainer. Man, he just went all on. And Shannon Sharp just sitting there casually drinking his coffee or whatever, just like,
Well, it wasn't coffee. It was little cognac.
You know what I mean? He was just like, oh Lord. Oh Lord. I'm like,
I sat there and I got to, because as I work sometimes being at home, then I'll turn on podcasts.
Yeah.
And I just happened to I was clicking over to YouTube to see what kind of podcast, it's out there. And I saw that was already kind of alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. So I clicked on it. Started listening a little bit.
Yeah, dude, he was going in.
Well, then it kept going. I was like, okay. So I was like, let me turn it off. So I'm going to have to go back to that. I saw it was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and good Lord.
Yeah.
He gave no fucks. And like you said, he put in the clip.
He just fucking unloaded.
And just unloaded.
I'm like, this man don't fucking care at all.
He went on, I mean, from Steve Harvey to, like I said, Kim Kardashian. When he said, I wanted to keep my tight hole a virgin, I was done.
Yeah, he went on Kevin Hart in the dress.
Oh,
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I love the fact that he did. He gave Bernie Mac his props because
Bernie
when you
Mac was
come,
great.
you know as well as I do. When the Kings of Comedy came out, Bernie Mac stole that show.
Yeah, Bernie Mac's great.
Bernie Mac is probably an absolute legend. Uh, when it comes to comedy, I have my favorite like Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, man,
that's crazy.
woo,
And you look at you know with that, like, everyone in there, that's you see the New Heights with the Kelsey boys, and you see, Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp and that.
yeah,
And what I noticed about podcasts, listen to them a little bit, is you have your conspiracy theory podcast, and most of your podcasts that anybody's on are all like fucking famous people living
yeah,
like $1 million lives, and yeah, they
yeah.
get to talk about all that. But what I'm glad that you invited me on this with you for is, I don't care if we have fucking 6 people watch this thing. What I love
Hey,
about it is if you and me get it off our chest and get to talk,
yep,
and we can talk about real life shit, and we'll always have our perspective on sports, because the one
yeah,
thing that we know will never go anywhere is there's
yeah,
always going to be sports to talk about. And and it's good. So even if we get some subscribers or don't, and they chime in and listen to this, and maybe we help them out
Eh,
with some shit they
eh,
can't relate to, or
I look
it
at
gets a
is
different light on us if they see us and be like, well, fuck,
you
these guys are talking about it. Then
you
that's
have to
great.
start somewhere,
Absolutely.
and it's not the first time I've ever had a scratch and call.
Well, and
Like I said, I went,
this is the best fucking therapy ever during the week for me.
and and that's what's you say that that's what's I was thinking that like when it comes to talking,
Hmm.
people have gotten away from talking.
Yeah, just a text and a
We're doing this.
yep.
We're
Yeah,
we're on the internet. We're
yeah,
checking. We're going through stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a social media person.
yeah. It's
And
part of life.
I think what's great for guys like yourself and myself is we're everyday dudes.
Yeah, just average cats doing average shit, man.
Hey, no one's going to agree with us, and we're okay with that. We're not going to agree with everybody else, but we're going to respect your opinion as long as you respect ours.
Exactly.
And
And
that's how I am.
this week was this week. I look forward to this too, especially a couple days ago, one of my buddies passed away.
I did.
40,
I saw
yeah,
that, man. And
44
yeah.
years old, massive
And
heart
how
attack.
are you okay? Are you okay, man?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking. He was like, I kind of, I didn't want to get all fucking cheesy on Facebook with it and stuff, but
Yeah.
he was like a big brother to me a little bit growing up. So
Yeah, I
Hubbard,
kind of read your thing, man. You
yeah,
could tell there was.
Hubbard and Richard. I don't know. I don't know if you remember Richard. Richard played. I had him come. He come and played with us when I had my Reapers team
Oh, gotcha.
millions of years. Yeah. So Richard played. Yeah, Richard played with us. Uh, I grew up. I'm. They were all just graduating when I was in 7th and 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
They were graduating and getting on with their lives. Well, they were around and kind of took me under the wing because we all lived in the same neighborhood. Joey lived behind me. Hubbard lived a couple blocks over. Richard lived on the other side of town, but was always
Uh-huh.
close. We were always, always doing shit, and I was always little Mikey that ran around. And they all kind of took me under the wing and kind of taught me a lot about being a man.
Yeah.
Said I didn't have a dad around. My brother was in college, so kind of taught me how to throw hands a little bit, whip
Yeah.
my ass a little bit,
Yeah.
got me drunk for the first time, sent me home to my mom drunk for the first time, protected me when some of the
Yeah.
older boys, after they had gave me some liquid courage to talk a little shit,
Yeah.
made sure that that's where it lasted. If I was going to
Yeah.
take my licks, they were going to make sure they got their licks on anybody that gave them to me. And
Yeah.
then as we got older and got out of school and grew up, there was a there was a stretch there for a while where Richard was single, Hubbard was single, I was single. We were all living together basically. Joey was married to a wonderful woman,
Yeah.
and she is always been great. And he had already been married. They'd been married for quite a while at that point. So Jess would let Joey just go out and do Joey things. So we would definitely do some booze cruising, should I say? No 30-pack was safe with us. And man, there were some adventures to some local bars back then and shit. And the dude was well liked and well loved by everyone that he encountered, and he was a man's man. Like,
yeah,
he would he's one of the toughest motherfucking humans I've ever seen in my life.
yeah.
Right now, I tell you that. He also, when I was young, he was a super freak daddy at baseball. So like watching him when I was little, I'm like,
yeah,
through nasty curveball was a dude, and just was a no bullshit great dude with that would be right there with you to say, let's do some stupid shit.
Yep.
But also would give you the shirt off his back without a second's fucking thought. And just being 44, not
It
the kind of guy.
hits you different.
Yeah, it sounds selfish, and I said this when we lost Cassius, and I'll say it again now. It's I don't know. I don't take care of myself near as well as I should. Hubbard would probably tell you the same thing about Hubbard. A lot of us don't take care of ourselves the way we should, and in our lives, we may be good dudes and stuff, but how we see other dudes, it goes hand in hand with what you're saying. How we see them is they've always been someone that set the tone that you absolutely respect in every way. And when God takes one of them early, it makes you question all of it.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be like, what the fuck are we doing? And that was one of those things. So look, I was looking forward to this because that's I'm not taking it. I take it hard, and I'm not a funeral guy. I never have been. A lot of people.
Me either.
A lot of people probably frown upon the fact that I don't go to them, but I don't mean to be selfish, and I truly love everyone that's passed, and it hits me too. But I don't do well at them, and I just don't do them. It's just not because I'm a fucking mess. So it's
my condolences, man, and
it's
of
harder
course
for
my
Hubbard.
condolences to the family.
Yeah, definitely condolences, Jess, and he has 2 sons. So praying for them right now. It's gonna be a tough go here for a little bit, but Joey raised 2 good boys, I'm sure. So
last thing I want to do is end the show on a somber note.
Right. Yeah.
Real quick, before we get out of here, I do have to give a shout out jokingly to someone who commented on one of the posts that were made.
Yeah.
Bubba Pearl, Big Bubba Pearl.
Big Bubba. Yeah, man.
He said that it was time after seeing us, he needs to step his hat game up.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm gonna tell you what, Bubba, if you pay attention, man, I got a shit ton of hats sitting behind me that I've only wore a few, and I got a couple more Boston Red Sox hats and minor league hats, of course, my Mexico hats, and I got a throwback Tampa Bay Buccaneer hat because it's got that creamsicle color in it.
That's every single one of these we do. Every single one of these we do. I have challenged myself to rock a different fucking sweet hat every time.
Yep.
So come on, rubber duckies. Yeah. Come on, bud. The rubber duckies. I've got every week I've got ammo loaded up, dude. I'm like picking them out, like I've got them in a row.
I know, due to Berserk, I have a shit ton of hats off to the side in almost every colorway you could think of. So, Bubba, if you're listening, yeah, brother, time to step the hat game up because we're going to bring the heat.
Come on, bud.
Every week.
Man, and if every week. Look at it. I'll tell you what, our shirt game's usually pretty good too. You got the compliments on. I'm rocking the horn frogs.
Well, if you see kind of what it says, the Rec E player. Rec E player.
I had we'll see last week, you probably couldn't see it. I had a fucking Dolly Parton shirt on.
I did not see. I was
you could barely see it, but I had Dolly Parton shirt on. I think I might have had a Golden Girl shirt on the first time we were on
here. Hey man, when I was younger, About that 12-year-old mark, see little Dolly Parton back then.
How you doing? Yeah. Yeah. She was
But man, hey,
smart.
next week, of course, looking forward to next week. Hopefully we'll have Joe Miller on with us.
Oh yeah.
So
Man,
and get Joe going.
We gonna get on that college baseball?
I get pumped for college baseball.
Yeah.
And I saw the preseason rankings.
Pretty good.
I see pretty good. TCU in the top 10.
Wake Forest returning four of the best players in the country.
Wake Forest.
Top 45 players in the country are on their team. 4 of them.
And we'll kind of real quick before I say that is, I did see on Instagram for an account I followed that I did not realize this. One of the top prospects, pro prospects, played college ball in West Virginia.
Yeah.
You never thought in the world that West Virginia would produce a baseball player, but he is.
It's a pretty good coal miner.
The last few years, it looks like they will have 2 top 10 guys going in the draft. So,
dude, there's some teams we'll be able to talk about and some players that it'll be cool. We can open some eyes probably.
Oh yeah. So I'm hoping we get Joe that lined up with Joe, because I'm getting anxious for a little college baseball.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk more NFL. After this last thing, of course, the college championship game coming up.
Yeah.
I am so happy that the SEC has no one in it, and I am happy as hell that Texas lost.
Yeah.
So
Phoenix, bad dude. Bad dude.
But with that, brother, have a good week.
You too,
we'll
man.
Get it back next Friday, man. Hey, we're out.
Later.